Very good evening to today's session. The history of liberal arts education dates back to classical antiquity. India has always had a tradition of liberal arts education and had its presence in ancient Indian Takshashila and Nalanda universities. Students came from across the world to study grammar, philosophy, Ayurveda, commerce, astronomy, and much more. Today, with the industry and society seeking holistic individuals both in knowledge and skill, liberal arts education has gained significance. Class is rooted in that philosophy of liberal arts education of offering a broad based education for holistic development with in depth understanding of the chosen discipline. We offer a curriculum designed to provide students with the knowledge and abilities to become successful, productive members of a society. While rooted in the foundational tenets, class looks forward to the fast changing economy and society. Our vision to become a progressive, research focused institution that instills passion for lifelong learning and mold young people to impact the world. Welcome to class. I will now hand over the session to Dr. Emmanuel and Dr. Preeta from the School of Social Work.
Thank you, Ms. Ananda, for that warm welcome. And we have amidst us Dr. Preeta and myself, Dr. Emmanuel Daniel, who will be taking on this session. So to start with, I will be giving you an overview about our department. We'll be sharing some unique features of class MSW, followed by what are the career opportunities available for students who pursue MSW in class. Yeah, so just give me a minute. I'll turn on my presentation. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to give you an overview of our department. That's a School of Social Work in class. So we are the only PG program in class, that's Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science. Um, but but we are not just the only department. There are other departments as well, but we are the ones who take the social wing or social outreach. We play a very important role when it comes to NSS or the road safety wing or Namadu Pangu or the other social activities in our department. To start with, I thought I'll give you I'll read the short profile of our teachers who are available in the Department of Social Work. So Dr. Kalpana Prakash heads the department, and she's done her MSW and completed her PhD. She comes with a various she comes with an experience of working in an NGO, especially in the field of disability and disability management. And myself, Dr. Emmanuel. So I had worked in a funding organization before entering teaching. So my area of expertise is in the field of tribal studies, WASH, religion, single mothers, and adolescents. So next we have Dr. Preeta, who's got experience in community development, environmental policy, urban community development, and so on and so forth. She comes with a wider research experience. And then we have Mr. Praveen Verghese Thomas, who is about to finish his PhD, who's also a Commonwealth Fellow. His area of expertise is in the field of medical and psychiatric social work. He conducts a lot of trainings in leadership, theater, and life skills. Now, talking about social work, what is social work? So, I'm going to go deep into what is social work, but then a social work as a degree or as a program is a program which is not just theoretically we study something and we move on. It is a discipline where it is a combination of theory and practice. I would put it this way: 60% of theory and 40% of practical. For example, 3 days in a week you'll be spending in classroom trying to understand the concepts, theories, and in 2 days in a week you'll be trying to explore what are the areas where you'll be working in the field, and you'll be placed in organizations, hospitals, industries based on your specialization. So this program is not just an academic program where you study and you go to a job. You are going to become change makers. You are going to build societies. So you're going to do the re-engineering part in the society. So here, first you will start from a person's level, that's an individual level. Then it will slowly move on to a family, then a small group, then a community, and a society at large. Now, this is the structure of MSW. Anybody who's willing, or anybody who's committed their lives to serve people or serve the society, can take up MSW. As said earlier, this is the program where you will use more of your heart. So you will use a lot of emotions and a lot of things in order to understand, the community, build a nation, something like that. So here, any UG degree, be it you can be an engineer, you can be a doctor. I know people who have done nursing, have done MSW, and people who have completed engineering have joined MSW in our college itself. So the class size is 40. The duration is 2 years with 4 semesters, and we are affiliated with Bharatiyar University. So we follow the syllabus given by Bharatiyar University. Now, these are some of the courses that you'll be studying in MSW. So, starting with Introduction to Social Work, Sociology, Psychology. Then, from the second semester, you'll be opting for your electives based on your interest. We'll be talking about the electives in the coming slides. Okay, so there are four specializations offered at class. The first one is Human Resources Management. The second one is Medical and Psychiatric. The third one is Community Development. The fourth one is Family and Child Welfare. So we'll be talking more about the career opportunities in different specializations in the upcoming slides. Okay, so what makes class MSW very unique is that the Edge and the Edge Plus program. Okay, so talking about as I've said earlier, as I've told earlier, we follow the syllabus which is given by Bharatiyar University. So here, the students which whom we get in our institution are slightly towards the higher segment, which means that they are academically more competent, and people who come with experience. So they are not just satisfied with a mere syllabus. So here, to feed them with a lot of knowledge, we give this Edge program. Edge program is basically a program designed to give a lot of input to our students. For example, we'll be giving the experience of social lab, and then volunteering with different schools to understand different scenarios in the society, and we'll be helping them to take up some online courses, be it NTPL or SWAYAM or Coursera for that matter. So Edge programs are in the first semester, the second semester. So we'll be taking them for different workshops. Maybe the last time we took them to NIMHANS and to various institutions in Bangalore, and some learning schools in Salem, so on and so forth. So here we also prepare them, as we are a research focused institution, we prepare them to take up research, because as a PG program, we strongly believe that research is not just an academic fulfillment, but this skill of research will help them definitely in the work where they are planning to go. So here, that is about the Edge. And about the Edge Plus, it's about the option where student, if they wanted to equip or charge themselves, or strengthen their knowledge in a particular domain, we help them choose some programs. For example, we have tie-ups with a couple of universities abroad and also India, in talking in about taking the certificate courses, so on and so forth. So we've got some PG diploma courses. If the students are interested in a particular domain, so we help them to choose one and they can take up. So that's about the Edge Plus. So this is also the third semester and the fourth semester. So we encourage students to basically go with Edge Plus as well, in order to strengthen their CV, and also help them to get a lot of knowledge in that particular domain. For example, if they're wanting to work in the field of disability, we help them choose a program accordingly. So these are the program features. Okay, so what makes learning special at class? We have something called prerequisite before you join the program, which means you'll have to do a small research or a small study understanding organizations. For example, you will do, and then you come back, you come submit the report, talk about it to your faculty members, understand where you are. So from there, you will get to know where you are. And when you are finishing your course, you'll have to do a block placement. And then you'll have to write a report. So then you'll be able to measure where you stand and how far you were able to travel from zero to whatever number. So and also we encourage a lot of mini projects. We have a lot of sister concern organizations, and we encourage our students to take up mini projects, internships. Now we live in the virtual world, and most of our students are into virtual internships, and we have a lot of debate sessions, and especially we do a lot of article review, journal article review, which means students are given some research topics. They study the research, they read it, they do a lot of critical analysis. They come and they share in a forum where others also get to know a lot about that particular research. So, and also conference presentations, we encourage all our students to take up presentations, to prepare some research and empirical research and present it in an international forum or whatever it is. And we encourage peer learning. Peer learning is what we believe, because it is not just a person always learning. It is also about a person, what is he or she ready to share. Okay, now talking about the interesting aspect of careers. Okay, so I've just given an overview. Maybe I will take you a little further into it, and then we will take up the question and answers as in they come in the chat box. The first one, what we believe as a research focused institution, we say there are a lot of opportunities in research. Today, there are a lot of corporates who have R&D. There are a lot of NGOs who initiate a lot of research. There are UN projects who initiate a lot of research, and also there are academic areas where you can, after your MSW, you can take up PhD with a university funding or a lot of scholarships available, so on and so forth. Then you can also think about employment, which means working in a hospital or an industry or an NGO or even government or whatever it is. The next one is getting into social entrepreneurship. That again we'll be discussing in the coming slides. And starting an NGO. It is not just always about after you're finishing your degree, not just going and working, with a grassroots level NGO. Of course, it's good, but we as a people, classites, we always think something big. We envision something big. So here we believe in starting NGOs. Okay, as said earlier, PhD area. So there are a lot of national and international universities available when you're thinking of taking up a PhD. For example, you choose a guide as per your area of interest, and then you can do your, if you are interested, pre-doctoral, or maybe after your PhD, you can also go for a postdoctoral. You can take up a career, maybe a teaching career or a research as per your interest. So there are a lot of opportunities available, a lot of scholarships available, and let's not forget in class that you are trained to do research, not just in a master's level, but in a greater level, in a bigger level. The next one is about the employment. So when you think about employment, these are some of the fields that we have mentioned, but of course we have not, the employments are not just limited to this. If you are talking about employment, I'll tell you, I was just thinking, okay, so now we live in COVID. Do you think that our field will sustain? Yes, of course, yes. Until there is problem in the world, trust me, there is a lot of scope for social workers. For example, you can see child welfare, you can see mental health, community development, environment, industrial development, medical social work. There are a lot of things. Even now, people started thinking about taking some unique areas, something like road safety, something talking about environment, and talking about Blue Cross, animal welfare, talking about graveyard workers. So there are a lot of left out communities, even in the field. So you can just start exploring what is your area of interest, where your heart belongs to, and from there you can make a career. You can take up an employment. So talking about the roles of MSW graduates, soon after they finish their degree, they get into an executive cadre. For example, they get into a project in an NGO as a program officer or a program director or an assistant manager. Or if they are really sharp, and really sharpen their skills, they can even think of taking up a role as a manager, something like that. So there is a lot of scope. So scope in NGOs, scope in government, scope in industries, corporate sectors, and so on and so forth. I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks back. We even have counseling in the industry because of the lot of stress among employees. So industrial counseling is shaping up. So today, even children, in schools, they have a lot of stress. So there are school counselors being appointed. So there are, it's the field of social work is just growing, you know. And talking about social entrepreneurship, as said earlier, no, in 2030, I've read it somewhere. Social entrepreneurship is likely to play a higher role. Social entrepreneurship is all about taking up a business or doing a business for a social cause. For example, the product that you manufacture, the service that you give is going to help the society, do well, or maybe it's going to elevate the society from one place to another. So here, if you see, in social entrepreneurship, there are some places like agriculture innovation is going to take place, and you can give a lot of employment, in the rural or the urban or the tribal areas, and so on and so forth. So, talking about starting an NGO, of course, there are all the NGOs which were started did not start in a higher scale. They always had a humble beginning. Now they are able to do wondrous things or mighty things among the community. So here, talking about starting an NGO, so we build, we help people design projects, and we constantly we do that. For example, how people write proposals, and how people approach funding organizations, how to approach a corporate funding, and how to even collect your own funds, so on and so forth. So we train our students. For example, we help them more in project design, how to approach organizations, and so on and so forth. So this is about starting an NGO, and these were some of the career opportunities. But trust me, these are our career opportunities are not just limited to what we spoke. So there are n number of opportunities for social workers, and we as class, as dynamic faculty members, we believe in not just sending students to do some service, but we wanted to see our students as change makers, to build nations, to build societies, to repair what went wrong, to be something great in the society. So this is what I wanted to share, in the talking about the careers in social work. So what we will do is, now we will take up some questions, and I see a couple of questions in the chat box. Let me stop my presentation here. Okay, so there are a few questions coming up, and I would request Dr. Preeta to sort of handle those questions. Maybe we're not getting the names of people. Just a minute. Okay, Dr. Preeta, this question is for you. Could you please highlight some of the, maybe talking about the scope of urban development? Because today people talk a lot about rural development and tribal development. Can you give us some highlight on urban social work and the career opportunities?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Preeta. I'm a faculty in community development. So when we talk about the community development, and urban development is only one of the area. We have equal importance of rural development and tribal developments. So regarding urban development, we have various government programs, and where social workers can be get posted as a government employee as well as a project employee, and social workers are placed as consultancy services, where we can give consultancy for doing action research or monitoring and evaluation of projects, uh, or even any research based activities. And also there are a lot of non-governmental organizations who are specifically cater the urban needs, where and we and the primary role taken in those organizations are the social workers, and mostly if you are from a community development specialization, obviously you can take up you can plan and execute developmental projects in urban areas, as well as you can even coordinate with government agencies to plan and implement projects.
Okay.
So that is more specifically, and when we look at the kind of development which is happening in urban areas, especially cities, with the smart city mission and the Amrit project, etc., there are a lot of scope where we actually have to look into the inequality and social justice aspects. So I think we as a social worker have a lot to do in those kind of projects, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, madam. And we've got a couple of questions, so I'll just go one by one, and then you can just answer. The first question here is, does anyone with UG background can do MSW? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As you rightly pointed out in your presentation, the basic requirement is any UG, UG from any discipline.
Okay.
And I think and MSW as Master of Social Work is a interdisciplinary course where we have to learn from economics, politics, psychology, or when it comes to the HR specializations and medical and psychiatry. So we have that is we have taken theories from various disciplines, from social science, from various social sciences, and not only from the UG social sciences, but people from engineer background and other backgrounds also joining from the program. That diverse group itself make the course very different, and when the discussions and those type of comes, it's actually make the course and classes very vibrant in that sense.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
madam.
yeah.
The next
So
question
there's
is,
a
yeah, you want to say something, ma'am?
yeah, there's a question in the chat box, how to apply for the MSW program. And I think we have our admission coordinator, Mr. Ibrahim is here, joined with us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he can take that question. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Yes. Regarding MSW, we have varied career perspectives, and also admissions related thing is like any UG certificate, as Dr. Preeta mentioned, and we'll be having intensive admission process that we follow every year in class. One of the process that we followed in this year is all the participants, applicants who wish to pursue this course needs to understand what the scope of the course is, what the course offers. Does it satisfy your objective in your career and your personal aspirations? Maybe it currently or in 5 years time or 10 years time, how you plan your life accordingly. That is very important. So the coming to the admission process. So the admission process is very simple. So you need to go to our website, and in our website there'll be a floating icon called apply now. You just need to click on apply now, register yourself, and get the application form filled. And after you fill the application form, we'll be reviewing your profile in detail. And after reviewing the profile, we'll give you a interview, online interview, and also followed by a psychometric test. So after understanding your profile, after understanding your psychometric test, we'll be our admissions members and admissions panel will come to a conclusion about your profile, and we'll go on to the next following steps. And also we have a rich background with respect to social work. Our management and Kumaraguru institution has rich history of social work with different NGOs and governing bodies, and even in Coimbatore region itself, we are doing much more with respect to social work. Yeah, and on to you, Preeta, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim, for that notes. As Ibrahim mentioned, we have a selection process. Though we expect people from various disciplines, we have our own selection process where we actually look the quality and the value of students through like interview or group discussion and those kind of things. Then only we will actually finalize our candidates.
Okay. Thank you, Preeta, ma'am. Now we've got a couple of questions in the comment box. So, what are the scopes and opportunities in government sectors? Could you please elaborate? Yes, Preeta, ma'am. So, how about the scope of MSW students in government?
Yeah. So as we know, we government, even there are a lot of government posts are open for MSW candidates. Even without looking the specialization, they just ask for Master of Social Work degree to apply for, like ICDS or welfare officer, professional in correction setting, or I think there are many areas, many departments are nowadays asking MSW as one of the eligibility for applying for such courses. And we have a central government post as well as state government post, and there are a lot of development projects, programs which are implemented, which are executing by the government itself, where we can apply. MSW graduates and postgraduates can apply. And also training and the capacity building is another important area where social workers with their immense skill development were actually pitching in a government sector.
Okay. Thank you.
I think
Thank
you
you.
can also add.
Yeah, I will. I will definitely. Thank you. I wanted to add a couple of points along with what Dr. Preeta has mentioned. For example, today school social work is a field which is seriously picking up, and all the international schools and private schools have almost have the school social workers. But now government is thinking of appointing school social workers in the government schools, and our neighboring state Kerala has already done that. So now Tamil Nadu, they are pushing towards that. That's number one. And number two is about there are a lot of social projects that the government is involved. Many welfare services, they just ask for a degree, but however, when you have completed your MSW, you are given weightage for that, and you'll be absorbed. So I personally know a lot of people who have done their MSW and got into different wings of the government. And especially if you are wanting to become a labor welfare officer in any of the government run industries, MSWHR is the particular, they are very particular about MSWHR there. So people who have completed MSWHRs are appointed there. Even I've come across a lot of things in like Bharat Petroleum, Indian Oil, and sometime back Hindustan Petroleum as well. So when they are asking for a labor welfare officer, over an MBA HR, MSW HRs are given preference. Okay, so we'll move to the next question. So okay, so yeah, after completing MSW medical and psychiatric, can I become a clinical social worker, or is there any other scope? Preeta ma'am, would you like to take this question?
Of course, I can add my points. Basically, after specializing in a medical and psychiatric social work, people choose to become a psychiatric social worker, medical social worker, or a counselor. So there is a lot of scope in medical and psychiatric field also, both in an institutional setting like hospital or clinic, or in a counseling setting, and also in a different community health, public health settings, where you can actually work as a community health facilitator, or a project manager of public health program, etc. So that is also like, you can also have your own counseling centers, where you after where you can handle the like clients with your own experience.
Yeah. So again, I would like to add something along with Dr. Preeta. Of course, there are a lot of scope in India, and I forgot to highlight the scope which is in abroad. For example, I'm sure that you might be knowing, but however, I thought I will just give you an overview. So here, talking about the scope in medical and psychiatric. So I wouldn't say it is new in India, but however, maybe post 2000s, the scope has literally widened. Especially, I know some of the people, some of even our resource people who have gone and settled in countries like Canada, UK, US. They've completed MNP, medical and psychiatric. They had some solid training, a couple of certificate courses here and there with good with national institutes, and developing their skills, and they are just wanted there. And I see a lot of people just going abroad with medical and psychiatric, and a few other specializations as well. So indeed, there is a lot of scope for medical and psychiatric, not just in India, but also in the Western countries. And many people work as school counselors in the Gulf countries. So that is also there. Okay, so there is also there are a couple of questions, other questions. So yeah. Okay, so this question is
Yeah,
my
sir.
question to Preeta ma'am. Okay, my personal question. Preeta ma'am comes with a lot of experience in research, and she's worked in a couple of good institutes before coming to class. Okay, before joining us. Okay, so how do you see MSW different in class compared to other places?
Yes, wonderful question, sir. That actually I want to really tell my experience after coming to class. So see, actually, as you clearly mentioned in your presentation, we class with the Kumaraguru School of Social Work actually believes in the liberal arts education. So I think that there makes the difference from any other uh, uh, colleges which offering MSW. And though the curriculum we are following is the syllabus we are following is from the Bharatiyar University, we have a specially designed curriculum. We have that autonomy to build our own curriculum based on the syllabus given by Bharatiyar University. So I think we are like more on focusing on giving a value based education, as well as more focusing on students research from the first semester itself. As we know, we are doing it right now. We train our students to get into research activities, whatever portions but syllabus they are covering in each courses. They have to pitch into research activities through articles, journal articles, reviews, or field experiences, and they have to come up with their own write-ups. So I think that lies actually the difference of class. So that like hands of experience and research focused work, which actually not only help the students to enhance their own knowledge, but it actually develop a lot of skills related to how to see an issue, what are the different dimensions of social issues which are there, as well as it also actually enhances the ability to write, and also to empower them to critically think, and then only students can actually come up with certain social innovations in this. So I think in that sense, class is training our students, and which I am also observed, like from the right from the beginning, from first semester onwards, in a very different manner. Is that
Yeah.
true, ma'am? I hope you also agree with this my
Yeah.
observation.
Thank you so much for those words. And would like to tell you something, as you rightly pointed out about experiential learning. Last year, we were talking about something in sociology, some urban, semi-urban place and something like that. So, what happened after the class? We decided, okay, come, let's visit. We visited a place. We had an experiential learning. We just went to literally. We traveled to a place, away from our campus. This was not something which was planned, something like that. We just decided to go sit there and learn. We learned a lot of things. Maybe somewhere in some other place, so 4 or 5 kilometers away from our college. We interacted with people, understood their problems, something like that, and came back. So we as class, we strongly believe in experiential learning and research, and that's where our foundation lies. Okay, so there is one question about could you please tell us something about HR and MSW? Okay, so HR and MSW is as simple as that. It is seen as industrial social work. So which means what is the difference between MSW HR and MBA HR? Okay, so MBA HRs learn more of training and development, performance appraisal, so on and so forth. Whereas in MSW HR, we concentrate more on labor welfare, labor legislations, handling trade unions, and so on and so forth. Which means we will be strong in these areas, and MBA HRs will be strong in training and development. Of course, MSWs will learn training and development, but our main focus is on the labor legislations. Main focus is on the intramural and the extramural benefits in industries, having employee morale, employee engagement, and so on and so forth. Of course, Coimbatore is an industrial city, and we have a lot of scope for MSW HR. Okay, so even I'm an MSW HR, so I had opportunities to visit a lot of industries and gain a lot of knowledge. But let me not forget this. We are also having CSR, which is an emerging field in social work. So people who have done HR or community development mostly take up roles in CSR. So as you all know that government also mandates all the corporates, who come with one particular ceiling amount to shell out their money for corporate for the community development, which are around the corporates. So there is a lot of scope, and now we had a lot of experts coming and addressing that area, that's the CSR area, to our students. And I strongly believe that CSR is a much demanding place for social workers, and I will definitely want to see a lot of social workers working in CSR as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
Preeta ma'am, yeah, there's also one
There
more
is
question.
another.
Yeah, yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, sir. There is. I think you forgot this question about any scholarships available in our institute for our course like MSW for getting after getting admission.
Of course, there are a couple of scholarships available for students based on their merit as well as based on their performance, something like Mahatma Gandhi scholarship, seed, and so on and so forth. So basically, students have to, it's not just about the academics. So they'll have to show good performance, in the field and also in the classroom, and also taking up a lot of initiatives in the social projects like Namadu Pangu and Care and so on and so forth. So we'll be talking about slightly about the Care a little later. But before that, there is also one more question for you, Preeta ma'am. So how do you think MSW prepares students for civil services? Would you like to take this question?
Yes, yes, sir. Actually, that is one of the point I think I forgot to add when we talk about the government sector. Which actually MSW is a course which actually takes, as I said, takes knowledge and the theories from various disciplines, and so it actually prepares a student to face any competitive examination. That is the point I want to make, and especially with regard to civil services, we actually give a lot of information, knowledge, and knowledge regarding each of the papers. We have social policy papers, urban development paper, or like development economics. So we are giving like up to date knowledge about various social policies, various governmental programs, and its critical evaluations. And also we have our knowledge cafe like programs in our college that actually facilitate our students to get up to date knowledge about the current affairs. So I hope that a lot of our students are actually benefiting from our programs to face many competitive examinations.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And one more question. Um, what should a person who's doing MSW should do in order to be very strong in the field, be it any specialization? It's not. We believe that it's not about coming, studying, writing papers, exams, and going off. But what qualities do you think that a person should possess in order to be an effective social worker?
So I think you will be the better person to answer that question.
Okay, so
Yeah, because you are leading a lot of leadership programs and so on, skill
okay.
development training. So you'll be a better person to answer that.
Okay, that's okay. I'll take up this question. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so for a computer engineer, or for a person who's into engineering, maths is very, very, very essential. For a social worker, it is all about handling the emotions. Critical thinking and creative thinking is very, very, very important. Along with communication, of course, communication is very important in different fields. So, how to handle stress? Because here we are not handling machines or money or a particular device. We are handling people. So which means we should possess a lot of IPR, interpersonal skills in order to be effective in the field. Of course, you should have the passion to serve the needy in the society. So there are marginalized people in the society, but how much do we really care about it? That matters a lot. So this, as said earlier, this profession is something which should be done from your heart. It should not be something where you fight for leadership position. That if you do social work, trust me, you will definitely experience a change in your life, which I was able to experience because I come from a BCom background. So my life should be described like this, before MSW and after MSW. After doing MSW, I myself couldn't believe I had a lot of change. I had a lot of change in myself, the way how I see, the way how I perceive things. So I'm sure that this particular program has got a lot of scope. At the end of the day, it will not just change your career or sharpen your career. It will change your life in a much positive way where you'll be a useful citizen in the society. Okay, so there are a few things that I would like to convey. And if you are interested to know more about our program and admissions, you can visit our website, and it's running in the chat box. You can visit our website and get to know more about us. If you would like to talk to us, you can contact us through email or the number that I'm going to just put it in the chat box. And yeah, so there is also another program which is coming up. It is the NGOs Meet 2020 in collaboration with World Vision India. So that's going to happen on November 6th, the coming November 6th, where we are expecting many NGO people to join us from throughout Tamil Nadu to discuss on various things. So the theme will be on digitalization. So this is basically going to be a capacity building workshop for NGOs. So something like this. So the last week we had a couple of workshops run as a part of COS 2020. So we will be doing a lot of programs. So stay connected with us, and you will receive a lot of notification from us on different programs. So I'm sure that you will definitely get benefited through all these programs. If you're interested to explore more, please feel free to reach us. We'll be happy to to clarify your comments, or to even counsel you on what to do or how to proceed forward in your journey in the service, in serving people. Okay, so thank you so much. Preeta ma'am, would you like to share something?
No, sir, that's it. Thank you so much for participating with us to make this day program a wonderful event. Thank you for the questions you asked. It's actually like we are able to expose more about our own course and the institute. Thank you all.
Thank you.